In this clip, I'd like to talk about the importance of assessing current and past orthopedic injury as a necessary prerequisite to designing and implementing an effective exercise program. I've asked Elizabeth to participate in this clip because she does have some current orthopedic problems that are unresolved and a past injury history. Once she shares her current problems and past history, I'm going to demonstrate to you, using her as a model, how you can easily identify this, and then I'll give you some suggestions as to what to do about it. So Elizabeth, would you mind just sharing what is going on in your body right now that serves as a limitation to you? So if you go to the gym and work out, what are the things you've got to think about because parts of your body aren't working correctly?
I tore my ACL and I have a meniscus tear.
Okay, which leg?
The right.
Right leg.
Two things there. But that doesn't limit me as much as every now and then my shoulder. Left shoulder is the main issue. Definitely, I was in a car accident. I banged it up pretty bad.
Okay.
I actually re-injured it in surgery from pulling at my arm.
Okay.
And I somehow strained a nerve.
And how long ago was that?
That was 5 years ago.
Okay, so it's a 5-year-old injury. Okay, so this is very important. She's got a prior history of a knee injury, and we're going to focus on the shoulder injury with our demonstration here. But I want to point out that this is a 5-year-old injury. Now, I want to show you how fresh it looks 5 years later, and you can tell by looking at her body, she hasn't just been sitting around eating potatoes, so that means she's been exercising for 5 years with an injured shoulder. Now, why that's important is because she has what's called a substitution or a compensation pattern. And I'd like to share a neurological law with you. It's called the law of facilitation. The law of facilitation says when an impulse passes once through a given set of neurons to the exclusion of others, it tends to do so on a future occasion. And each time it traverses this path, the resistance will be smaller. What does that mean? It means every single time Elizabeth does any exercise with her shoulder, and she cannot move the shoulder through a proper normal range of motion and with normal interrelationships between the muscles of the scapulohumeral and scapulothoracic regions, she will alter her motor coordination in the creation of a compensation pattern to try to protect the injured tissues. And every time she does that, she actually drives that process deeper and deeper into the nervous system, so that when you, the exerciser healthcare professional, comes along and wonders why she's moving her arm in such a weird way, you try to correct it. No matter how hard you try, you won't be able to correct it. Typically, it takes about 350 repetitions to build any new motor program, but guess what? It takes 10 times that many repetitions to correct the program if you can, and it usually has to be done with the guidance of a highly skilled therapist due to the many nuances and techniques that are necessary to include in correcting the problem. So my goal here with you today, with Elizabeth, is to show you how to identify a faulty movement pattern and then give you a couple of quick tips you can try with anybody in your gym or clinic. And if those tips don't work, that means it's much more complex and you're going to need somebody that's highly skilled in correcting faulty movement patterns. So Elizabeth, if you could just demonstrate to me a rowing movement so that we can watch your shoulders move from behind. Okay, so right away you notice the left shoulder hiking up relative to the right shoulder. How about if you row with your elbows a little more parallel so that you're more in the plane of horizontal abduction? And there you can see, again, you see winging of the scapula and a hiking up of the left shoulder. So every time she brings that shoulder back, she gets over recruitment of the left upper trapezius and levator scapula muscle. Those are tonic muscles, as is the pectoralis minor, meaning that they're more suited for stabilization and postural recruitment or postural stability. So now what I would like to point out is that she has facilitation of the tonic muscles of the left shoulder, which is blocking her ability to properly recruit these muscles. So what would you need to do in her case? You would actually need, in order to correct the movement, to stretch the levator scapula and upper trapezius. So why don't we try just, I'm going to let you slowly come back. And what I'd like you to do is just stay right there, okay? I am going to stand behind you. Now I'll try to do this so you can see. I'm going to turn her head to the right. I would like you to reach between your shoulder blades as far as you can. Keep the elbow up. Now what I'd like you to do is inhale, hold the breath, push against my hand straight to the side, and gently turn your head to the left, the other left, and hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, relax, turn right, and reach as far down between your shoulder blades as you can. Okay, chest up. Inhale, turn left gently, and press gently against my hand. That's plenty hard. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, look right, and reach down between your shoulder blades as far as you can. Okay, hold that chest up. Inhale, gently look left, hold, press against my hand, hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, look right, look down at your right shoulder, reach between your shoulder blades as far as you can. Very good. Now just return slowly to the start position. So that will stretch the levator scapula. Let that arm hang down. I'm going to stabilize this shoulder. I'm going to take you, turn you to the right, look down at your right shoulder. Okay, inhale, hike the left shoulder up against me. Bring your head towards your left shoulder. Yeah, hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. Exhale, look at your right shoulder. Okay, inhale. Just lift the shoulder against me. Pull the head toward the shoulder. Not too hard, just enough to activate the muscle. Exhale, relax. Okay, let it really relax for me. Inhale. And gently lift the shoulder, turn the head, and bring the head towards the shoulder against me. That's hard enough. We don't want them working too hard. You'll find a lot of people want to work the muscle too hard. That overexcites it. Exhale, relax. Look down at your right shoulder. Good. Now what I'm going to do is have you come back this way. I'm going to push your shoulder into scapular retraction. Good. Inhale. Push your shoulder forward into my hand. I'm going to stretch the pectoralis minor. Exhale, and bring your shoulder blade towards your spine. And push into my hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. Bring the shoulder blade toward the spine. Inhale. Push into my hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. Inhale. Open the shoulder blades. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Open the chest. Excellent. Now, let's see if we can check that movement and see if we've improved it by shutting down the muscles that are overly excited. So now I've opened the gateway by shutting down, stretching the hyperactive muscles, inhibits them for a short period of time, which gives me an opportunity to open a new pathway to the muscles that she has not been using. If you look at my core scientific back training, I show you EMG studies done by Vladimir Yonda that actually show the science of how this works. Okay? So let's have you do the rowing now, and let's see if that changes the movement. So we definitely have a better recruitment. We don't see so much winging there. Good. Now what I can do is I can stimulate the lower trapezius. So as you pull, put your consciousness here. There you go. Okay? And at the end of each movement, let your arms go out, long, no, go forward, just return and relax. What you'll see is she has developed a habit of holding tension in the muscle. The reason people do that is because it keeps an injured joint intact. So instead of relaxing at the end of the movement, which is essential for drawing up fresh blood, she holds tension in the muscle so the muscle can never relax, which encourages the development of trigger points. So what I want you to do now is I want you to remember that your lower trapezius runs from here down to here. So as you pull, try to bring those 2 points together. Okay, let's bring your arms up more into horizontal abduction and pull down. There you go, excellent. And now let the scapula come away from the spine. Let it stretch and pull these 2 points together. Excellent, beautiful. So now we're getting activity where we couldn't get it before. Down, good, and rest. So what you'll see is that there's only a narrow window of opportunity. Depending on the magnitude of the injury, you'll find that the worse the injury, the less time you have. Now, because I'm talking on camera here to you, I lost a lot of time, but clinically, I would do the stretches of the levator, the upper trapezius, and pec minor, and immediately go into the correction. I might only get 20 seconds, I might get 3 minutes, but I want to keep the intensity low. It's not about resistance training, it's about reprogramming. The more reps I can get with good form, the better, and as soon as her form begins to break, I stop, give her a rest, stretch all the muscles, repeat the procedure, and I must do this over and over again until the system is retrained. In closing, I would like to say that if Elizabeth works with me and then goes to the gym and does not do these stretches and does not have the ability to keep her consciousness in the recruitment of the right muscles, every repetition she does wipes out all my therapy, which would be a bad idea because you usually pay a therapist. So if you're going to do these exercises with people that have faulty movement patterns, you must tell them they should not exercise on their own unless they can do the preparatory procedures correctly, or it will wipe out their therapy. One set of exercises done wrong can wipe out an hour of therapy. I hope you have fun using some of these simple and effective techniques for correcting faulty movement patterns. And remember, if you use these techniques and you're not getting results, your client may need an orthopedic assessment by somebody that's trained to do that type of assessment that can identify the etiology of the problem.